a little while ago I got a very old Bergen that was only fit for the bin, for the dumpster, and put it on an external frame like that, which lightened the load significantly, and I put whatever back pad I could on. I actually sewn this to the frame, removed the internal frame, and it works so well as the prototype. Now we can get round to making the real thing. I'm going to use the MOLLE Recon 2 pads, hip pad and shoulder straps, and hopefully this should be completely no sew. That just gets wrapped around the frame and back to the bottle, connected to the same frame but taking the S90 Bergen off and putting on something I prefer on a personal level, which is the Royal Engineers All Arms Bergen, or the turtleback. I've already made a start with a couple of pouches, and on the S95 I've already put a respirator pouch on, so that can come off. It has capability to put my tent on top, and I've got 60 litres available to me on the inside, 2 10-litre rocket pockets. So I want to remove the old Bergen that I sewn on. This was a prototype, so I don't mind taking this apart. Prototypes are there to see if the idea works until you discover something a little better. I actually separated the shoulder straps on the last project and sewn them straight onto the frame, so as you can see the shoulder strap there is not connected to the pack. So got to take that off, that off, that off. Another 3 on the other side is 6, 2 there, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with that. So that's the S90 PLCE off. Eventually this one's going on the All Arms Bergen. All the pads and straps are off. Good salvage, lightweight alloy frame, and I already have the Alice pack frame and the RM frame as well. But first we're going to put these on, starting with the shoulder pads. So I've laid it out so these back pads are on the inside, the straps come over the outside. I want to make sure I've got all this the right way around. At the moment it's just a bit of Velcro on all 4 corners. And down here is another strap which needs to go underneath the lower part of the frame, up and into this clip here. Just time to centre it so I have an equal space from here to here by releasing the Velcro, moving it one way or the other and pulling hard with the Velcro sticking it back down until I have an equal space. That's not bad for me. I'm going to continue up to the shoulder straps here. The shoulder straps just get hooked straight down to the bottom. Right, when it comes to this here, which is going to be the load lifter, there is a separate section which is missing from this. There's a curve here, and there is a right and wrong way to put these. The back pad, 2 straps. These straps go around the frame and into this bottle here. This is a bottle that came with the MOLLE hip belt, and it's never actually worked. It just pulls apart rather than actually coming apart how it should. I only have to breathe out and this springs open. So I had a faulty one when it came, and there's a story behind that which I'll come to on a different episode. But I did buy a job lot of these here, which are the Arctics belts, little hip belts, same diameter of webbing with click buttons, QR clips. So all that remains is to undo that by undoing all the stitching here and here, and on the other side I've already made a start on that. So I've unpicked all the stitching, slide off the broken bottle like this, and slide a new one on, and that should be fixed. There's the old one, don't need that, and just take this off here. Well, that's come off without any surgery, and put the new one on. Got to ensure to get this the right way round, of course, so always run downhill. And the same goes for the other side here. I'm going to remove all the stitching and put the other side on. That's this Bergen completely stripped down, even the old buttons and the zip, any usable part I've taken off, and I'd rather have this All Arms Bergen on instead. New buttons on that, but I need a way to have an attachment to the Bergen onto the frame. All I've done is put 2 bungees around for now, and that works fine, but I fancy something a little more elaborate. So with some of the salvage, which is the strap, I think this was the lid strap or something, I'm going to make some webbing loops. This here is the zip. There's the cover for the zip, so you've got an orientation. Just get some webbing, and I want to make loops like that. A little loop. I want to make 6 of them and attach these loops onto the Bergen, so you wouldn't know otherwise they were there or what they were for. I'm going to make these quite small. It'll take just a couple of minutes to put these on like that. I've just got some cheap cord and a cinch toddle like that. I've put 2 of the ends through the cinch toddle, and obviously I need 6 of them. Haven't actually sewn any webbing in yet. I'm just going to show you the construct. This would go through the webbing around the back of the frame. The cinch toddle comes through the loop and is secured on like that, and then bring the toddle in and cinch down onto that. It's enough to hold it on. So the back of the All Arms Bergen looks like this. I just haven't had time to put the extra resi pouch on yet, but I've got the 2 bottom utilities on. That's going to look the business when this is finished. So there's a front and a back and an up and a down. Bring the webbing through. This is 25mm and so is the clip. And this is the back of it, and that is how we sew from the back. And then when we pull the clip forward, we don't see any stitching. So that is the strap I've just shown you sewn on. I've got to put another one on here, and I've put an actual load lifter onto the shoulder pad that is on the frame, so I could actually do with turning this over so it looks like a little hem, so it doesn't go back through the runner accidentally. But I want to leave myself enough room that I can actually get at it. So there's where we're up to. We've got to make another load lifter for the other side of the shoulder pad, and we want to make another one of these and sew it onto there, and this is what is holding the actual pack to the frame. So let's start by putting another one here. So this is the webbing I'm using. I think this is off an old Jungle sleeping bag compression sack, and I don't need the 3-prong buttle, I just want the slider. This a little too short, so I'm going to trim up this bit of webbing here. And these are the bits I need right there. I folded it through and put a box stitch just there, and when that's over you can't see it where it's been. Like I said, I've made this mistake as well in the past of threading it in and sewing it on like this, and you can see this webbing and the box that I stitch. This way is a lot neater. Okay, these are on. One here that I've sewn on, and one here. I'll undo this so you can see I've doubled it over. It's not too bad. Bring the strap over and thread it through. Now what I've done here is actually got this strap on a slight 45° and cut it like that. Makes life a little bit easier. That is held on to the top frame, and there's a lock-in section, and that is it locked off. So they're held on through the top here and here. And now we can come and make a shoulder harness. And for this, if I undo it, what I did is just wrap some webbing over, and it's folded into a flat and sewn at the bottom with the tension buckle on there, the shoulder pad, and there's the strap off the harness, and put it through here, and we've got our load lifter. And we need to make another here. I'm pretty sure I have some webbing here, same colour, and I need a pack slider for it. That seems to be the right size, but wrong colour. I'm sure I got one like that. Doesn't look like I have one, so for now I'll have to just make do with what I've got. As soon as I find the proper colour, I'll unpick the stitching and put the proper colour on. And this is just a case of coming round with the webbing. I want to come in through that side. And sew it flat. What I'd like to do is start from the centre, and then that way it should keep the stitching offset. And this webbing is damn tough, really tough. There's one, gotta watch my fingers. There's two. Just pull one of the cords through. Make sure I've got the right side. Let's pull this one through. Pull that out. Now I do have a webbing slide of the same colour somewhere. I know I have, I've seen it, but I just want to get this job done. Note my fingers are well out the way when I push that through. I've just pushed one straight under my fingernail there before. That hurt. Before I do any more work actually figuring out how I'm going to attach the lower part to the actual frame, I want to have a go at putting this respirator pouch onto this part here, and I've already done 2 utility pouches. This will make it look the business. It's going to ride quite high up. I can centre it nicely and it'll look something like that. So I'm going to load up sewing all and make a start on putting the resi pouch onto the actual Bergen itself. I'm going to see where's best to start the stitching. Now I always like to start from the centre like this of any pouch I'm sewing on, and then work to the left and then work from the centre to the right. Now I do have a curve going on here, and yet this is flat, so I've got to be careful how I do this. So I'm going to position it all, I think through there will do. This is the point where if anything looks not correct, I can quickly rectify it. So the length of tail I need about twice the length of the actual bit I'm sewing. That'll do, that's more than enough. Make the first stitch by coming in a few mil next to it. I'm going to make these about 3 or 4 mil, these stitches, so a little bit bigger than I'd usually do, and then sew into here, put the first stitch in, rotate the sewing all so I have the recess here, tail through. That's about the size I need. There's the first stitch in. That's quite a nice size. Let's come through the pouch into the Bergen, exactly 4 mil over. The minute it starts looking a little shoddy is because I'm impatient, and I'm going to stop at that point and just put the project down and come back to it, and then that way I can ensure it's looking acceptable. Start rushing this, it's going to look terrible. Okay, let's push that through. That's come through a little high. So let's back it out, try again. Now I could do with a guide to follow, which is where I need to pen a line, but I can't really pen a line because of the curve. So I'm going to have to play it a little by ear, but I want the corner of this to come all the way up, if that makes sense. It's really difficult to sew, yet alone explain. So I'll have a gap here. There's the arch, and the end of the pouch needs to be level here. Pull back on the awl, make a loop, tail through the loop, pull the awl back out, tighten that, and we're away. So the brown is working really nice, much better than the army green. Now I'm not going to bore you showing you the whole procedure of every stitch And if you do want to know how to use a sewing awl, there's already a sewing awl video available to you on this channel. So all this is mocked together now, how it would be. Now I do have another 2 of these to put on pack sliders right at the very bottom, and it's attached exactly the same way as the top. The pouch here, the resi pouch, I've stitched through the top. Is find the centre of this pouch with a pen, I line it down. Same with the pack, I measure it, find the centre, and when the 2 centres meet, I can sew from the centre out, and then from the centre out to this side, and then sew up the sides, and then that is complete. I have 2 of these which are for the bottom of the pack, and I'm going to have to go out and find some decent 25mm webbing because I've completely run out. I'm really happy with this, it's turned out well, I like it, and I have opportunity to add side rocket pockets onto this. As you can see, my big tent fits right on top, held in place by its own snap buckles here. Same at the bottom, my sheepskin is held by QR clips also. So I'm out of time on this, and I hope you can join me soon. Until next time, take care of yourself. Happy trails.